How's the progress so far? Activity, how does it feel? Just that, the first two columns, activity and feeling, that's all you're feeling. That is all you're feeling. Okay. How many guys need more time? Okay. You could give 3 to 5 activities. You don't have to make it 5, just 3 to 5 is okay. Okay, can we move on? Are we all okay? Are we all together? Yeah? Okay. So now once you've identified what, like we are just from discussing what your interests are, and then onto how do those interests or activities make you feel, we're going to move on to the third question, which is, why do those activities make me feel the way that I do? For example, if reading makes you happy, why? What about reading makes you happy? So for me, the example that I use this, I like to work out. Why? Because it makes me feel proud of myself. Why does it make me feel proud of myself? Because I get to see the progress that I make. I get to feel like I've achieved something by the end of the day. So that is why it makes me feel proud of myself. So here the point is to get deeper than the feeling. So it sort of requires a bit of reflection. For example, if you like, now let me use the example I was using, if you like reading, why do you like reading? Why? It makes you happy. Why does it make you happy? Is it that through reading you get to make friends? Is it that through reading you get to gain so much knowledge? What about reading, what about that happiness that you get from reading? Is it that appeals to you? Are we together? So there's that third column, which is the why. Why? Which requires you to go much deeper. The reason behind why reading makes you happy. The reason behind why, if it's cooking, why does cooking make you happy? The reason behind behind the feeling that all those activities you've listed. Are we all together? Kuna mtu amepotea? Anyone? Sasa. So I can give you about 5 minutes to just fill that in. If you need any help by the way, you can just raise your hand and come back.
Okay, my name is Nixon Otieng from Aquinas High School. I'm in Form 4 and I'm very happy to be at Innovate Kenya this year. Well, to me today I've learned that a genius is not only gotten, but is also developed in a person.
I'm Susan Megwe from the Kenya High School and I'm in Form 4. Yes, I totally think that the
mtu ako sawa? Okay, sawa. So we are still on exercise 2, the third column. Exercise 2, the third column. For why do those activities make me feel the way that I do? We're still there. Have you all done? No. Who's not yet done? And just raise your hand. Okay, who else not? Okay, so you can give like 2 more minutes. So we are still on exercise 2, the third column. Exercise 2, the third column. For why do those activities make me feel the way that I do? Let's do that. Have you all done? No. Who's not yet done? And just raise your hand. Okay, who else not? Okay, so you can give like 2 more minutes. So we are still on. Exercise 2, the third column. Exercise 2, the third column. For why do those activities Are we done? Tuko sawa? Sasa. So how does it make me feel the way that I do? Let's do that. Or have you just solidified what you already knew? We're going to move on to another stage that will be led by my colleague, which is know your values, know yourself. So I'm really glad that you who maybe have found out something new about themselves, just give us a few questions. But now we're going to go deeper. So I'll let my colleague continue from that. Hi again. Have you all done? No. Who's not yet done?
So why Lisa asked you guys to think about why.
And just raise your hand. Okay, who else not? Okay, so you can give like 2 minutes.
Proud when she goes to the gym and because she feels accomplished and she feels like she's getting somewhere. We can say that Lisa values her physical health and fitness, and so
Exercise 2, the third column. Exercise 2, the third column. For why do those activities? Are we done? Tuko sawa? Sasa. So please make me feel good that I do. Let's do that. Or have you just solidified what you already knew? We're going to move on to another stage that will be led by my colleague, which is know your values, know yourself. So I'm really glad that you who maybe have found out something new about themselves, just a few questions. But now we're going to go deeper. So I'll let my colleague continue for that. Hi again. Have you all done? No. Who's not yet done?
So why Lisa asked you guys to think about
in this reason hand. Okay, who has not? Okay, so you can
proud when she goes to the gym and because she feels accomplished and she feels like she's getting somewhere. We can say that Lisa values her physical health and fitness.
So we're still Exercise 2, the third column. Exercise 2, the third column. For why do those activities? Are we done? Tuko sawa? Sasa. So please make me feel good that I do. Let's do that. Just solidified what you already knew. We're going to move on to another stage that will be led by my colleague, which is know your values, know yourself.
So they like to do something with that, or someone else, wants, values competency. That is wanting to meet or exceed expectations.
Who maybe have found out something new about themselves, just a few questions. But now we're going to go deeper. So I'll let my colleague continue for that. Hi again. Have you all done? No. Who's not yet done?
So why Lisa asked you guys to think about
in this reason hand. Okay, who has not? Okay, so you can
proud when she goes to the gym and because she feels accomplished and she feels like she's getting somewhere. We can say that Lisa values her physical health and fitness.
exercise 2, the third column, for why do those activities.
Like, you know, your situations, like good at math, why, what does it make you feel? I like feeling accomplished. So you value accomplishment. You value, you know, being able to do challenges. Yeah, and just like try to match
Which table doesn't have so please make me feel good that I do. Let's do that. So you find what you really need. Another stage that will be led by my. And like at the end of it, just highlight what you value as indicated by the explanation that you give. Does that make sense? So don't move on to the exercise 3. Still exercise, the page for exercise 2. Like on the side, like for example, if this is your exercise 2, for example, yeah, just put it on the side. Like you have the big columns like on the side, this column, sorry, which is to know your values.
Has everyone put some values against the situations or activities or interests that they listed down? At least 2, 3, 4 values. How is everyone doing? Need more time? Yeah? Yeah?
I'm Susan Megwe from the Kenya High School and I'm in Form 4. Yes, I totally think that the
next thing. It's just a one way to figure out what you want to do. And then the second thing that we're So the reason why values are important is why speaking to you is because values tend to guide our decisions, our actions, our thoughts, our words,
So we are still on exercise 2, the third column. Exercise 2, the third column. For why do those activities make me feel the way that I do? We're still there. Are we all done? No. Who's not done? And just raise your hand. Okay, who is not? Okay, so we can do like 2 more minutes. Are we all done? Not yet done? Can just raise your hand? Okay, who has not? Okay, so you're done. Okay, so you're done. So we're still okay. Exercise 2, the third column. Exercise 2, the third column. So why do those activities solidify what
It can be a couple things.
you really
Like,
need?
what's holding you back? What's making you scared? What's making you scared to dream? What's making you scared to dream, right? And Lisa will give you just like a handout, and I want you to write just like some of the things that you think of yourself. Like, I thought at one point I was not good at math. Turns out I'm actually pretty good at math. And you know, for some people they'll say, well, I have to be perfect all the time. I can't make a mistake. So that's like one of the beliefs that's sort of holding you back, because if you can't make a mistake, that means you can't try anything new. And if you cannot try anything new, you cannot really explore the possibilities that you know, like that new thing will lead to, right? So just like write 3 to 5 things that you feel is holding you back. Either someone told you about yourself, maybe your math teacher was like, you know, you're not good at math. Maybe it's you who told yourself. Maybe you just like had a bad experience and now you think that you're a failure at something. Just like try to note them down, and I will give you about 3 minutes for that. So you can use the examples. I know sometimes it's hard to think about how you're limiting yourself, because if you've never really had to reflect on this, it's very hard to come up with something, but I have a couple examples. I should be perfect all the time. I have to make my parents happy, because that is limiting. I mean, while it's a good thing you want to make your parents happy, that will limit your choices in the sense that, you know, if your parents want you to do law and you want to do engineering, you will do law, even though you're not necessarily like happy with that decision, right? So just think of, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be like this like monumental thing, like math, like deep school examples, because I feel like I've just been in school all my life. But you can do other things, and you can just note them down. You can write one thing, no pressure. If it's just like you feel like you have one limiting belief, you can just note that. Like, I want you just to write something. The point of this exercise is for you to really reflect about like some of these thoughts that you have about yourself that are not necessarily true, right? Maybe you failed math. times, 10 times. But is it really true that you are math? Is it always true? Can you also not improve on that and just, become good at math, right? So those are things I think of as limiting beliefs, right? Does everyone have like one point, 2 points without them just move on? Okay, can I have everyone's attention? We can just move on to the next section, right? You'll have these worksheets with you, so you can still fill them out, and I hope that this will be, what Lisa and I have brought you is like really the first step to exploring the many possibilities. And the first step of like exploring possibilities is really knowing yourself and understanding yourself, right? So we've gone through interests, we've gone through values, and now we're just like thinking about like, okay, so we've talked about all these things. We know what we value and find important. We know what we're interested at. We're interested in what we're good at. But then we know what's holding us back, right? So I won't be able to go through all of this. So, but like, can you please just turn to the next page of like the worksheet that you have? Just turn to the next page. So I want you to just like think through these questions, right? Like read one limiting belief, silence it, and ask yourself, when did I start believing this to be true, right? So for me, I thought I was not good at math because I failed this one time, and from then on I started believing that to be true, right? And then go through like trying to see like what are some reasons or examples to counter that limiting belief, right? So one of the things that really helped me at least improve on my math and finally really do well on my KCSE was that I thought back before like that point in time when I did the exam, and I enjoyed math, I was good at it, I performed well, and I was like, that is not always true. The fact that I just failed one time does not mean I'm not good at math, right? So I tried to find examples in which like the belief was not true. My math teacher was also very encouraging and was like, I believe in your capabilities. You just failed this one time. It does not mean like this is like your potential. Like you have so much to discover, right? And so this is one of the ways we can eliminate like our limiting beliefs, right? So what I just showed you or talked about is really what is like a fixed mindset. So there is a difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, right? So a fixed mindset will say, well, I failed math one time, I'm definitely not good at it. A growth mindset, on the other hand, will say, well, I failed this one time, but now I know better, and I will improve my exam strategies and study better, and then I will improve, right? So a growth mindset sees failure as an opportunity. A fixed mindset sees failure as like the end, right? It's like, I failed at this, I'm definitely not good at this, and I will never be good at this. So some of the things, if you turn to like page 3.
Are we done? So please make me feel that I do. Just solidified what you already knew. We're going to move on to another stage that will be led by my colleague, which is know your values, know yourself. So I'm really know who maybe are proud of something they are about themselves. Just
and so
questions, but now we're going to go deeper. So I'll let my colleague. Hi again. Are we all done? Okay, done. So why Lisa asked you guys to think about in this reason? Okay, who has proud when she goes to the gym and because she feels accomplished and she feels like she's getting somewhere. We can say that Lisa values her physical health and fitness. And a fixed mindset will say we're going to move on to another stage. For the longest time, I thought I wanted to be a doctor. And I did want to be a doctor. I went to medical school for a semester, only to drop out. And it's not that I did not enjoy it, I enjoyed it, right? And I knew I was good at it. But then, for me, it was like, I'm good at this, but it does not mean that's the end of my abilities. I told myself I could be good at anything else that I wanted. So I dropped out of medical school and I went to study neuroscience and psychology, and I found myself enjoying it, right? And me dropping out of medical school did not necessarily make me a failure. I did not think of myself as a failure. I thought of myself as exploring possibilities, right? Sometimes you make one decision, you decide, well, I'm not going to do everything at once, I'm making this decision. It doesn't mean like you're a failure, it doesn't mean, you can never go back to doing something. It just means that you've opened your pathway to something else, right? Right now I'm like, if I was a doctor, I would have enjoyed it. And that opportunity is sort of going, but it's fine, and I know I could be good at it. But also, with my growth mindset, for me, it's like I can learn anything I want, right? Of course, anything I want that I want to learn, because I don't want to be doing physics. Like Lisa, I will hate being an engineer. But, I know there are things I like. I like being challenged. So for me, this was like, neuroscience sounded like an amazing opportunity, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do that, right? So just like trying to think about your limiting beliefs. Whatever you wrote down, just think about like, is this always true? Are there ways that I can go around this and actually be good at what I put down and change this limiting belief to an empowering belief, right? Instead of saying your situations, like good at math, why? Instead of saying, can I do engineering? Me. Actually, I really do not think I would enjoy that. But like,
I'm Susan Megwe. Yes, I totally think
I'll be able to do something. And sometimes you're good at, and I know I could probably be good at engineering, but I know I would not enjoy it. Right? So it's a balance between like trying to explore all the options available to you, but also staying true to yourself. This is why we did like the values alignment thing. Yeah? Trying to stay true to yourself. You can value, for example, independence, and the likelihood of you like starting deeper. So I'll let my colleague. Hi again. Are we all done? Okay, done. So why Lisa asked you guys to think about in this reason? Proud when she goes to the gym and because she feels accomplished and she feels like she's getting somewhere. We can say that Lisa values her physical health and fitness. And probably I'll find something to do in the next 2 years, and then I'll ask myself, what do I want to do with my life? So that's the whole point. You have to reevaluate. You get to medical school and you say, well, I want to be a doctor, and then afterwards you're like, do I really want this? And it's okay. It's okay to doubt yourself. It's okay to want one thing today and to want another thing tomorrow. Don't be disappointed. Just like enjoy the journey of like exploring the possibilities. I will let Lisa take over. Does anyone have a question? Sorry, I feel like I've talked a lot.
So you guys are we are living with those forms, so you can fill them your own time. You have the value worksheet, and then you also have the worksheet where you put your interests. You can continue filling that in, and also like all the different worksheets that we give you guys. So this is a question that we would really like you guys to ask yourself, because this is more of an introspective session where you need to reflect internally and figure out what you want to do in your life. So if you knew that you would die tomorrow, what would you be doing differently? If you were to die tomorrow, what would you be doing differently? For me, the weird thing is, I asked myself this question, I thought it would be travel more, explore more. Like, I would love to travel, but for me it would be to read. I would want to read more than what I'm doing now, because I feel like there's so much knowledge out there that I have not yet even known about. So for me, I feel like I'm a geek. I would like to read more. So that made me question, like, okay, does it mean that I'm not reading enough now? So like for you, if you knew that you would die tomorrow, what would you be doing differently? So this is just a question to ask yourself. Some of it will be sleep more. I'm trying to take us into the mindset of, let's look at something that will grow you as a person. Something that will grow you as a person. Maybe you'd volunteer more. Maybe you'd, I don't know, stay with your family more. Like, what would you do more if you were to die tomorrow? Or what would you do differently?
It doesn't have to be something like read more. You can say you want to sleep, you can say you want to have fun. For some of us, I don't know, I want to have fun.
No, this is going to an intellectual conversation.
I don't know about you guys.
No, like, we're not going to have fun.
But for me, right? Tell her. I tried to tell her that. I told her I'll quit my job and I'll just travel the world.
I have fun reading.
And have fun.
I have fun reading. I will not be charged for my life decisions.
That's fine.
But the point is, this is something for you to think about. So you can just, or does anyone want to volunteer? What do they do? What do they do more? I feel like Susan has something to say. Susan, what would you do differently?
Yeah, don't let Lisa discourage you, please. I'm ready to hear any answers. That's not me.
Yeah.
I will eat every candy because I love candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, someone else, yeah?
I will bring down there.
Excellent. See, some of us don't want to read.
Is there an intellectual answer? Please. Thank you. I will not do differently.
So, but then I'm going to make it better.
Okay.
Change the question. If you knew that you're going to die tomorrow, would you keep doing what you're doing today?
Yes.
So that changes it from
you want to eating candy?
Candy. So
I like that. Yeah, I really like that.
So another question. That's how jobs are. Yeah, that's how jobs is basic. So it's a profession where you're following a routine every single day.
Guys, let's listen. Let's pay attention.
That routine, or you change it to something that you actually need.
Thank you. That is the question. I think just quickly, guys, you cannot tell that question that would be really good.
Yeah, Henry,
if you knew you'd die tomorrow, would you keep doing what you're doing today?
A lot of people, that's a no. Wow. Why? Please. I want to know. But also for me, it's a no, but like, please, if you don't mind. Why would she go to school when she's dying tomorrow?
Come on, I'm full of cheers.
Why won't she continue learning when she's going to die tomorrow? Guys, yeah. Oh, look at it. People don't know what he's doing.
My people, thank you. Thank you.
It's fine. You continue doing what he's doing. What about you? If you are, will you be here?
Yes, I'll
Are you just saying now because everyone is here?
No, because I do this once every 3 months. So rather than doing the normal meetings sitting down on my own to write code, and then meetings, like I believe in that cycle. Meetings, sit down, write code, then meetings, sit down, write code, then meetings. This is a break from all that, where I actually get to live as much as I can.
Alright, excellent.
Okay. So that's a question you guys need to ask yourself. When something you need to ask yourself in your professional life, in your personal life. So in your personal life, you want to spend more time with your friends, spend more time with your family. In your professional life, for example, if you're in school, you want to quit school, or you might want to read more, interact more with your teachers or your classmates. I feel like that sounds like something very geeky to say, but yeah, that's a suggestion I would have.
Yeah, or travel, or go on adventures. I mean, also it's a balance of being practical and following your dreams. I mean, I do want to travel. If I was being honest with myself, I really do want to just travel. But now it's like a balance of like, where do I actually get the money to travel? Is by me working so that I can
balance content that is one thing to me or exceed expectations. Who maybe have followed something about themselves, just questions. But now we're going to go deeper. So I'll let you go. Hi again. Are you all done? Who's not done? So why is that I ask you guys to think about in this reason hand? Okay, proud when she goes to the gym and because she feels accomplished and she feels like she's getting somewhere. We can say that Lisa values her physical health and fitness. So we're still
network, get to know people, get to do things like this where you build projects. There are not many people in high school right now who are thinking of, what project can I do? So you guys are like on a notch higher than most of the classmates. In my team, I want to become the coder in my team. Because I've been a mentor, so I know you have someone who's dealing with the business aspect, someone who's dealing with the marketing aspect, someone who's dealing with the technical aspect. So you're already a notch above the person. So with all that, explore the different possibilities that are at your table. You guys are between 14 to 18. You have your whole life to figure it out. Right together? So, but the difference between you and getting to conquer the world is the mindset. That's why you focus on having a good mindset. Where you're thinking, how will I conquer that challenge? How will I be able to?
You heard about one thing.
I'm shy.
No pressure. If it's just like you feel like you have one thing to believe, you will just know that. Like I want you just to write something. The point of this exercise is for you to really reflect.
What do you want?
About like some of the thoughts that you have about yourself.
When things are hard, the why is what will keep you rooted.
That not necessarily, right? Maybe you failed math 5 times, 10 times, but it's literally proof that you are bad.
Passion is what will keep you there. Your why is what will keep you there. Your why
is it always true? Can you also not improve on that and just become good at math, right? So those are things I think is everyone has like.
Now the next question comes to how can I get what I want? How can I get it done? So these are the 3 questions you need to ask yourself as you go into the world out there. I know everyone calls it the world out there, but as you continue to live your life, I like to say continue to live your life because trust me, the world out there never ends. So you get to
what you really need.
Like the world out there, it never ends. The world out there. And we really hope that you've been able to grasp.
We're going to move on to another stage that will be led by my colleague, which is know your values, know yourself. So I'm really Maybe I found out something new about themselves during lesson. So, questions. But now we're going to go deeper. So I'll let you go.
So I really appreciate your feedback and you coming out with